Now, if you want to bring that tray up for me.
Of course.
We're going to make my mom's sponge cake. We have to mix, we have to separate our eggs. So we want 5 large eggs at room temperature, just as the way you explained before. All right, so this is critical. We want no fat in the whites. A sponge cake is what we call a foam cake because we're going to beat a lot of air into it. So as soon as the chief has my eggs separated, I want you to start over there on the egg whites.
Can do.
And I will start with the egg yolks. And the only fat in this cake are those egg yolks. So we're going to put in some sugar. So we need a 1/2 cup of sugar in the egg yolks, and we need a 1/2 cup in the egg whites. So I'm going to give you a little bit of this sugar, half of this sugar, because you're going to need this. And you want to put this in ever so slowly. So why don't you take this over there.
All right.
The whites with a 1/2 cup of sugar, and you beat that in. All right. I'm putting in the sugar a little at a time. I really want this to get fluffy and very light colored. I want this to look really light, lemon color. So don't rush this process. So 1/2 cup of sugar in with the egg yolks, and the chief has a 1/2 cup of sugar going in with the whites. Don't add the sugar until it starts to get foamy.
Right.
And then with the yolks, I want to add about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So a little salt goes in. Okay, let's see how this looks.
Let's take a look at.
So we're going to flavor my cake with a little bit of vanilla extract. Oh, I like a good tablespoon in mine because I really like the flavor of vanilla.
All right.
And now we need some orange or lemon zest in this. We did wash the orange. All right. So we want all that zest in the egg yolk batter. That's going to give a really nice flavor. I'm almost ready. Okay, fluffy, foldable. That's what we want.
And
all
you
right.
need some juice
I need
too,
some
I think.
juice. So why don't you cut that up for me?
I think there's a board
cutting
here.
board. And now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take my bowl. You want to put the juice right in there.
And about how much? A couple of tablespoons?
That's plenty.
Right
That's
there?
plenty. And that's a blood orange, by the way,
Yes.
that we're using. Isn't that nice? So put that in. That gets mixed in the batter. Look at how pretty that is. And now, Chief, if you would get me the flour, which is right there in that measuring cup, I'm going to take these yolks. This is a little different than your procedure, and pour it right over the whites. Get all that in there. All right, now, Chief, what we need to do is why don't we just sieve this flour, and now we do that same procedure that you just did.
Folding it in.
We fold this all
carefully.
in. Mm-hmm. And we're going to put this into a 9.5-inch tube pan, which we have right here, and we are not going to grease it the way we did the Chief's pan, because if we greased the pan, this cake would not rise. Yeah. Get it all in.
That's why it's nice to have two in the kitchen, as you said earlier.
Exactly. And as you go around, you can just spread it evenly. And again, we're going to tap it down.
It already smells good.
Doesn't that smell good with the orange and the
Yes.
orange zest? And this is really going to rise about 2/3 of the way. You tap the pan, and you can put that in the
All right.
bottom oven.
Bottom oven.
30-35 minutes. When it comes out, you've got to turn the cake upside down, because if you don't, it will collapse. That heat has to go somewhere. So you put it over a bottle. When it's cool enough, you take it out.
Exactly.
There. So there is our sponge cake. And now we need to make the frosting.
All right.
Okay, now for the whipped cream topping, I've got 2 cups of whipping cream, a little bit of confectioner's sugar, 2 tablespoons, and I'm adding raspberries, about 1.5 cups. Doesn't that look pretty?
Gorgeous.
It has a nice pink color. I think I need a few more. Well, I need some mint after we frost this.
Yes.
So to frost this, I put some paper around the cake to keep the plate clean. But look at what a pretty color this is. It just has a nice pinky texture. And Chief, if you want to take this offset spatula and start going around this side, you could help me out there.
I can do.
And you know, this is the kind of a cake where if you have a few little dings here and there,
You can cover them.
exactly.
Right.
Some berries, and just put them here and there. Isn't that pretty? And Chief, if you could pick out some nice looking mint, some tiny little leaves of mint to put on the cake, I think that would dress it up as
right.
well. And you know, raspberries aren't the only thing you could use for this. You could use strawberries if you wanted to. Blackberries are nice. It's just a little dusting on top of those berries. This is pretty. This looks like it came out of a bakery, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Very good. And smells so good.